artwork that I've been doing for years is a low relief repoussé metal artwork. It's forcing metal out from behind to create a low relief from the front. I received a request from the Wheeler School asking me for a proposal for sculpture that was funded by Dr. Chazen. And so I took the opportunity to step out of my comfort zone and work on a large-scale sculpture for outside. It was a stretch in that it was a large-scale piece that I didn't make myself. I'm usually crawling over every square inch of the work I do and doing it all, but as this was a large, heavy piece, it's 1/4 inch marine-grade aluminum. I chose to work with a fabricator, Paul Emerald Custom Fabrications out in Seekonk, Massachusetts, and he does a lot of sculpture for a lot of museums. And he fabricated it and painted it, and he did a really fantastic job. It was really rewarding in that I could go beyond my own capabilities and utilize someone else's incredible skill and equipment to get the job done. I worked off of what was actually happening out there, which was a lot of sporting events and a lot of activity. So I started thinking in terms of a triumphal arch initially. Well, I was looking at all the traditional ones. I was looking at the Arc de Triomphe in Paris, just doing a lot of art history research, and a lot of them were really ornate. And a lot of them had depictions of what occurred or the events that occurred, or a lot of them had bas-relief on them. So I initially thought I might go that route because that's what I do. And then as I started drawing it out and working it out, I started becoming more and more minimalistic on the landscape, and I started pulling detail away. Drawing it, pulling more and more detail away from the object, and to eventually it got to a point where I actually just split the arch into 2 components. So now it exists as 2 separate components that are on the verge of coming together, which I thought was a nice metaphor for the sporting events and the other activities at Wheeler. It's painted with a marine-grade paint that's used by the Coast Guard as well as commercial aircraft, so it's a very long-lasting surface, very durable. It's a vast landscape. From one side, it's this huge sweeping field, and from the other side, it's through the woods. So I painted it red because I wanted it painted on the landscape. I didn't want it to blend. I didn't want it to clash, but I wanted it to appear as if the object were actually painted on the landscape. And you can see the landscape around you in the arch itself. So it was nice to be able to have such a wonderful site to drop it, and in this way people can encounter it as a sculpture rather than just use it as a gateway.